Fear is the enemy.
Bag City Music Box.
Whatever it is that you're going for, man, go hard. And hold on, never give up. You gotta have that mentality, man. I put in the work, I spent a lot of time on the waiting list. Never complained, I ain't never said shit. Shoot my shot, no fear if I miss. Imagine you chasing a dream that you love, only to find out it wasn't enough. You fall on your face, but you get right back up. And you fall back again, but you get right back up, yeah. That's the way that it's always been. Don't nobody care about the grind but you. Nobody putting in the time but you. Make up your mind who you wanna be. I know who I am, know what I want. Live by 2 words, mama mentality. And that's word to my mom, word to my pops, word to my little bro. They said make your mistakes, but don't make excuses on why you can't live and learn. On a couple occasions I damn near went broke. I'm chasing this music thing, and I ran out of hope. I threw in the towel, said fuck the hole in the street. I kept on writing and touring. I picked up a job cause I knew it was important. The money I made, I would stash it away just to fund my recordings. And I didn't wanna stop cause I didn't know how. I would lay in my room by myself late at night and I finally figured it out. I just wanna be the best version of me, make all the music that I wanna make. I don't care what nobody gon' say. You miss all of the shots you don't take. And the answer is no, if you don't ask. If it gets hard, this too shall pass. God is my witness and he got the plan. He got the plan. I put in the work, I spent a lot of time on the waiting list. Never complained, I ain't never said shit. Shoot my shot, no fear if I miss. Imagine you chasing a dream that you love, only to find out it wasn't enough. You fall on your face, but you get right back up. And you fall back again, but you get right back up, yeah. That's the way that it's always been. Don't nobody care about the grind but you. Nobody putting in the time but you. Make up your mind who you wanna be. I know who I am, know what I want. Live by 2 words, mama mentality. Yeah. Remember, man, you only in competition with yourself. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process. Pleasure and pain. R.I.P. the greatest. 0824.
What's going down? Let me get a song. Shoot. What's up? What's going down, y'all? It's your buddy DH. We are here for another version of Circle Talk. And I am here at the house with my guy. Terrence Williams is in the building. What's going down, family? You ready?
Oh man, I'm ready.
You ain't nervous, are you?
I'm super nervous.
How can you be nervous? I called you at 10 o'clock and I was like, yo, we ready to do this. You ready to go? He's like, yeah, I'll be over there in 30 minutes. I'm like, whoa.
I was trying to be prepared, man. Hey, look, this is my very first, podcast style interview. I've been asked to do them hundreds of times.
Yeah.
And just public speaking just been always one of my biggest struggles. And,
absolutely.
If I got the camera on myself with the lights, I'm cool. But when it's lights, camera, action, it's like, I'm gonna do my best.
You know what? This will be really easy. Like I told you earlier, this is just about you. It's everything about you. You know your life better than anybody else. So we're just gonna learn a little bit about you and your journey. Is that cool? Can we do that?
Cool, man. Let's roll with it.
All right, y'all. What's going down? Make sure you guys say hello. Make sure you guys, share this out if you haven't. If you guys haven't went to our YouTube channel, make sure you guys go to YouTube channel, subscribe, like, continue to follow us as we continue on this journey. First, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, iShotya.com. Thank you so much for all your continued support and everything that we do here at Circle Talk. If you guys are looking for anybody to get your pictures done and get them done right, whether it's a wedding, a party. Obviously, we know I shot to make sure that your pictures are done and they're done correctly. So all you gotta do is hit them up, let them know I sent you. It get you a nice little discount. Next, we're gonna give a huge shout out to Intentions Juice and Smoothies Bar. Marquita Evans doing amazing things in our community. I don't know if you guys seen her on the Best of Gordon show. But if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you guys go and check that out. She's doing amazing work. She's got 2 stores open and she's working on the third one right downtown Tacoma. Watch for it. It's coming soon. So thank you so much, Marquita, for your excellence in our community. And if you guys ever want to hit her up, 56 and South Tacoma Way, you can find it right down there. Go in there and order that strawberry circle swag drink. Compliments of your boy. Yes, yes. Go check that out, man. That's my very own drink, bro. Like, you know, she's doing this amazing thing where she is reaching out to all community leaders that are doing amazing work in the community. She picked 52 people, one a week, to create a drink throughout this year. So I was one that was chosen so far. And the year's still young, so you never know. Your time could be coming up soon. So you know what I'm saying? Watch for it coming.
I think I'm gonna have to go check that out
Absolutely.
as soon as I leave here.
Absolutely.
So
I might have to ride with you to get me one too, because I ain't got nothing going on. Y'all know what it is. So but this isn't about us. We want to get into the conversation with my guy. He's an amazing person in this community. Been doing a lot of good work. And I know you a little bit from, you know, just some past experiences, which we will get into. But this is what I want to do. I want us to take a trip back in time. Let's talk about, you know, your upbringing, where you're from, you know, dad, mom, brothers, sisters. Talk a little bit about your upbringing, a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Single family household.
Yeah.
Lived with moms there, and pops was in the military. So when I was born, he was in the military. So he was off, getting shipped off to different places doing the military thing.
Yeah.
And it's me, my mom, my sister living at home in Brooklyn. Pretty much grew up in a basement.
Yeah.
It's a studio style apartment, basement apartment,
Mm.
and just not a lot of space. Just us three. Mom did what she could. She worked 5-6 days a week during the day and went to college at night.
Mhm.
Me and my sister fend for ourselves, did
Yeah.
what we could,
Yeah.
while moms was out, hustling to take care of the bills and stuff like that. And when I got a little bit older, uh, I remember flying out here to Washington and just to visit my pops.
Yeah.
And just coming here was just a completely different experience when
Yeah.
you're coming from, Brooklyn, where just
Absolutely.
everything's concrete, no trees,
Yeah.
no fresh air, and then you get here, and then the first thing I'm looking out the window, seeing all these just green trees.
Greenery.
I'm like, wow, this place is nice. Look at all these trees,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
right.
get off the plane. I'm like, damn, this air smells good out here.
Yeah.
So, it started back then. I used to come out here and visit my pops for the summertime,
Yeah.
and just enjoyed it. I had a lot
Yeah.
of fun with my pops back in, when I came out here to visit him, and eventually ended up moving out here with them. Uh, moved back and forth, back home a couple times, but you know, Tacoma's home for me.
Yeah.
Uh, I never have a desire to move back to New York. I like to go home, visit
Yeah.
my family.
Yeah.
I used to go home and see moms at least once a year, and go rock with the fam. Stay there for about 2 or 3 days, and I'm on my way back.
Absolutely.
I just enjoyed Tacoma. Just a lot of opportunities here.
Right.
They say, you can make it in New York. You can make it anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, I just got the New York hustle in me. So
Yeah.
from day one when I got out here, it's like, just too many opportunities.
Absolutely.
It's wide
Absolutely.
open for whatever you want to do. You don't really gotta. I don't feel like you gotta compete for everything. In a place like in New York, that's a big city,
Right.
and you literally have to compete hard for everything that you want.
Right.
So if you can compete out there, you can go move anywhere and just compete.
Yeah. For sure.
Just being smaller, younger, kind of like my stepdad, that helped raise me. My mom's boyfriend, Robert,
Yeah.
love him to death. Just taught me a lot just growing up about just hustling and moving and shaking. He had a scrapping business. type scrapping with the
Yeah.
tweakers and stuff.
Yeah.
He had a legitimate business,
Okay.
doing scrapping and stuff like that. And he had this, he used to have this big box truck. And I used to ask, can I come to work with you? I'm like 6, 7 years old,
Wow.
asking if I could go with him so I could make me a couple dollars for the day.
Absolutely.
So he'll let me come with him. And here I am trying to pick up these big old pieces of metal, to earn a couple bucks or whatever. And, just I think that's kind of where my work ethic started. Was, from a young age like that, because I just enjoy working for money so I can go out and buy the things that I like to buy, things that I enjoy buying. So yeah, and then, fast forward to I got out here, Pops instilled, good work ethic in me.
Yeah.
He was out of the military by the time I moved out here, but he always held a job and was out hustling too. And he pushed that on me to be responsible and get out and work for the things you want.
Right. Absolutely.
I started hustling when I was young, 12, 13 years old.
Absolutely.
Candy selling. I don't know if you remember, if you was around Tacoma around that time.
Oh yeah,
where they had
Spice.
the candy selling.
Spice used to do. Oh yeah,
Gary and Norman,
all them guys, bro.
Yep. So just from getting picked up, rain, shine, snow, sleet, hail, I was out there.
Yeah.
Just because I enjoy making money. I'm in like junior high school, coming to school with wads of cash, and the teachers all looking at me like, oh, he's a drug dealer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I
Absolutely.
got wads of cash, but I was out there every day.
Was hustling.
And on the weekends,
the right way.
On the weekends, I mean, wasn't always the right way, but that's I was a product of the environment that I grew up in, and so anyway, going back to candy selling, I used to go weekdays after school, weekends we go hop in the van, go out to Silverdale, go out to some of the other nicer neighborhoods,
Right.
and that taught me a lot as well, just about going out to work to earn.
Right.
And we would go out there and go candy sell. I'm the snotty nosed kid, nappy hair, holy pants,
Right.
And I would always get top salesperson. We would get prize for getting top salesperson. I would always have there's a couple of little cute little girls that used to come candy sell with us every once in a while. They don't have to work hard, so they just knock on the door and be cute. Hi, I'm such and such. And they're like, oh, I'll take two. Me, I'm I'm nappy head, holy pants. I got to make the people laugh. We got our scripts. To come on the clusters.
Absolutely.
You bite them, but they won't bite you back. So I'm making my own little scripts and stuff like that just to make people laugh, so I could get some sales. So I actually had to work real hard at making money doing that.
That's great.
So yeah, just from that, even berry picking. I used to get picked up in the morning in the summertime. And I was probably like maybe 13 years old, something like that.
Right.
They picked me up in the morning. It's not even sunny outside. Sun's not even out yet. I get picked up early in the morning. I'm on a bus with a bunch of grown folks getting bussed out to like Puyallup.
Yeah.
And I'm out here berry picking with all these people,
Right.
And you get paid by, they used to call them like the flat. It's just like this big square thing like this.
Yeah.
It's got like 4 little the things you buy at the grocery store.
Right.
So you get paid by those. So I'm thinking I'm grinding. I'm thinking I'm picking fast.
Yeah.
And you got all these people like picking like 3 times the amount as I was picking, because they do it every day. But I did that for a couple summers. But just whatever I could do, to make some money, and so I can go buy the things that I want. When I was a teenager, I had the nice stereo system in my room that most people's parents had out in their living room. Remember with the EQ and the double cassettes and all that stuff? I had that in my room bumping because I went out and worked
because you hustled for that.
But yeah, so that's how I got out here, and like I said, Pops instilled some good work ethic in me. Taught me how to get out and just work for the things that I want. He never really gave me anything. If I wanted it, I had to get out and go work for it, which I see a big difference in today's kids now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy that you brought up the idea of selling candy. And I remember the days, when they used to come in the van and pick up the kids and take them out to sell candy. picking berries. My
Yeah.
brother did the picking berries thing. My brother, shout out to my brother B. He's 5 years older than me. He did it long before I even knew about it. But it's another thing that we were talking about earlier. Is talking about seeing your older brothers doing things like that. I kind of took the role, and
Right.
decided I wanted to get into it too. So I was selling candy too back in the day,
Yeah.
bro. So
Yeah.
that's crazy when you think about how important that was to our upbringing and where our lives are today versus our kids nowadays. They don't get to go through that as much. What do you think happened along the way?
Ooh, man, I wish I could put my finger on it. Everybody want to be a YouTuber now.
Yes, there it is.
And I don't know. Times are different. Times have changed, and I don't know. People don't want to work hard no more,
It's
man.
crazy, right?
And I just feel like what I went through as a kid is something that every kid should have to go through.
Yeah.
It makes them respect the dollar more.
Hmm.
Um, it makes them learn responsibility because too many parents out here, they're not teaching these kids these traits and how to take care of themselves and be responsible in the house, and then
Hmm.
expecting them to, when they turn 18, now that they're out on their own,
Right.
now try to teach them this stuff. It's too late, in my opinion, at
Right.
that point. Like, these are things, it starts with just basic chores at the house.
Absolutely.
You got, dishes 5 days a week. And,
Right.
if you're doing a pay type of deal where they get some kind of allowance, cool, you get paid. But hey, if your chores ain't done, there's, consequences for that.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
have to teach our kids that there's consequences for not doing what you're supposed to do while they're in the house, and we can correct it versus when they turn 18, now they get out here on their own,
Hmm.
don't really know the importance of showing up to work and being on time, getting
Hmm.
themselves up, paying their bills on
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
things of that nature. We have to start that young.
Yes, we do.
We have to start that super young. Just a quick story. Now, it's still kind of on the subject.
Yeah.
I went to a Mariners game, my first professional Mariners game, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I was invited. It was just a group of real estate investors up there.
Okay.
And, I'm the small fish in this place. I like to go to places like that to network. And, that's how you level up. Try to get
Absolutely.
around people doing bigger
Bump
things than
arms
you.
with those.
Yeah. And so I'm up there, and there was a guy that was from Kirkland. He's a real estate investor, big time. And he asked me where I was from. I was like, "From Tacoma." And he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, I hear there's a lot of big things going on down there in
Hmm.
Tacoma. What I heard a lot about Hilltop. He's like, what's going on with that area? And so I'm like, yeah, Hilltop is nice. It's it's been being gentrified over the years, and he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, wanted me to elaborate on it.
Hmm.
And so I was like, yeah, it's basically being gentrified. The people that grew up there, can't afford to live there anymore.
Right.
They can't afford to rent there, and a lot of them that grew up there can't even afford to buy homes.
Hmm.
And he really leaned in. Like, this is somebody who's never really stepping out of their comfort zone of like the Kirkland area,
Hmm.
and he don't know. So he's leaning in, like seriously interested in the conversation. Like, well, what do you think the answer is to gentrification? And my answer to him was, we have to start with educating our people on how to. We have to educate them on credit.
Hmm.
We have to educate them on um, working for money so that they can save their money and start investing their money and getting their money working for them so they can buy the house that they live in, and nobody can force them nowhere.
Right.
Because when that investor from Kirkland comes down and buys the house that you're renting, and he said the rent going up $200-300, it's
Nothing you
going
can
up
do.
$200-300. So you either gonna pay it or you got
You're
to
gonna be
go.
out.
And so when you're a renter, you don't have no choice. You don't have a choice.
Right.
And so, my answer to him was educating our people on purchasing real estate, buying real estate to build generational wealth for themselves and for their families. So
Hmm.
nobody can ever come to them and say, hey, the price is going up, or hey, thanks for renting my house and paying my house off for me over the last 15 years, but you gotta go. I'm gonna do something a little bit different.
Right.
You don't have a choice. But
Absolutely.
when you own, you have a choice. But we're not being taught that in school, in
Hmm.
grade school, junior high school. Um, a lot of our parents ain't even teaching us that stuff. I don't know about you, but my
Right.
parents never talked to me about credit. I didn't even know what credit was till I graduated from high school.
Right.
Didn't even know what it was. Never even heard the word mentioned at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm already starting off on the wrong foot.
Right.
Because I'm not even knowing what credit is and what the importance of it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, just educating our people, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Educating our people, I think, is important, and it starts in our house because we can't rely on the school system. Our Black kids, financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to see us be successful, but one you've been noticing that,
Absolutely.
just noticing a lot more Black success out there, a lot more of our people buying businesses. You know, I'm teaching a lot of our people how to get out here and build wealth for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, buying rental properties, creating passive income, building wealth for themselves and their families.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when you rent a house, you paying off somebody else's dream for them.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
literally paying off somebody's dream for them.
For sure.
You
Absolutely.
know,
So let me. I'm gonna ask you. I don't mean to interrupt you. I want to ask you though, because you did say something about them not teaching the kids in school about credit and all of these things that are important to us as uh, homeowners. Um, you just had a son that graduated, right?
yeah.
Did you have an opportunity to talk to him? I mean, because even your wife is in this type of field as well. Did you guys have an opportunity to sit down and talk to your children about it, or at least touch on him about what you guys are doing and your guys' jobs and whatnot?
Mhm. No, absolutely. And that is one of the things that I'm super passionate about in my household
Hmm.
is to try to teach my kids. And it's not necessarily about wanting them to do what I do.
Right,
Like, I
right.
don't care if they work as real estate agents. I don't care if they invest in real estate. I don't care if they buy businesses.
Hmm.
I just want them to learn how to be responsible, financially responsible.
Right.
So, you know, have your job, know how to set a budget for yourself so
Hmm.
you're not overspending, so you're able to save money. And I want them to learn how to save money so they can get their money working for them.
Mm.
You know, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, but that's one of the books that changed my entire life on how I thought about finances.
Hmm.
And it's basically about, you know, the kid had one dad, his real dad was somebody that worked a regular job and
Yeah.
paid bills, but he broke after paying all the bills.
Right.
And the rich dad was a dad that had money, that invested the money and had his money working for him and showed him how money actually operates.
Mm.
So that's what I've been doing with my kids.
Right.
I started off small with small little exercises. Um, we had like an investment where I'm buying a flip.
Mhm.
So I'm saying, hey, you guys want to get in on this flip? And it all started probably about, I want to say maybe about 7 years ago. My mom sent them all $50 for their birthday
Mhm.
or for Christmas.
Okay.
And I sat them down and said, hey, I just got this flip. You guys want to get in on it? Let's take that $50 y'all just got, earn on it. So I'm teaching them. And I gave them like some crazy like interest, but
Yeah.
to them it's not. It wasn't crazy. I think I gave them like $11 interest, $11 in interest on their $50 after 30 days.
Okay.
Now that's a super high, unrealistic ROI in real life,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm trying to teach them a lesson on how putting your money somewhere to make it work for you to get something back to where you're making money in your sleep. So
Absolutely.
their first 30 days goes by, we sit down at the table, I come down the stairs and I always pay them in ones. I paid them in $1 bills
Yeah.
because just I know how I used to be just being out in the streets and
Yeah.
just having wads of cash.
Yep.
Just that feeling of just large sums of money make you feel good. So I'll come downstairs. It was like $150 plus another like $40 or something like that, whatever their return was.
Yeah.
And so I'm coming downstairs with ones, and it's like
Big
this.
wad.
Yeah, so they hopping up in the chair like, ooh,
Yeah.
so they super excited about it. But this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is the purpose of me. Instead of just showing them a bank account statement with a number on it with $60 in it. So
Right.
I'm like, okay, you guys made $11 off your 50. Here's the deal, and this is how we're gonna do this. So when we do our returns, you get to take out no more than 50%
Mhm.
of what your return was. So if they made $10, they could take out 5, and then have to put the other 5 in with the other 50. So now they're investing 55 instead of 50.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to teach them is that it's like kind of like a snowball effect. The
Mhm.
snowball just gets bigger and bigger and
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah.
Because when you start getting into the investment realm, the small investments that hardly cost any money, those are the ones that you're going to make the least amount of money on, because everybody got 10 grand to put into something.
Right.
But as you start getting bigger, 200,000, 300,000, a million, 10 million, now you investing in stuff that's giving you even bigger returns, because
Absolutely.
there's not a lot more people playing in that space.
Right.
And so, we kept doing that. So we would have to sit down and I make them calculate our ROI on the paper and see how much they made. And I say, how much can you take out? Okay, cool. Of course, like some of the older ones that's just learning, the biggest struggle was with them. And so what I'm trying to do with my family is break this cycle on finances.
Mhm.
And when I came up, when I got $20 for my birthday, I wanted to go to the store and spend every coin.
Right.
That's how most of
Mhm.
us was raised, right?
Yeah.
When we get
Absolutely.
money, we go spend the whole thing. We
Mhm.
were never taught to save some of it and then, go
Mhm.
buy something with the rest, what you
Right.
want. And so I would make them take half, then we reinvest it. Now they got 55, move so on, so on. Fast forward, I think like maybe 2 years later, um, they all had enough. They had a couple $1,000s a piece,
Wow.
starting off
That's
with
awesome.
$50. And the
Mhm.
lesson to them is like, hey, you made all this money in your sleep. You guys got all y'all got more money sitting here on this table. And when I'm coming down, I'm still coming downstairs with ones now.
Yeah.
So imagine what that looked like.
Yeah.
When
Right.
I'm coming down. Like if you look on my social media page, I think I got a couple pictures of us down there with the money on the table, and they all just standing over the money like this. But that's what I want. That's
Yeah.
the reaction that I want from them, because I want them to see that, hey, I need to start making some money and save it so I can get the money working for me, so I don't have to go out here and work for money. So that's always been important for me. To me, uh, for breaking this cycle, this generational curse that most of us live and that I lived and was raised in. My mom worked herself to the bone.
Yeah.
My family worked themselves to the bone, but they all look fly. They all got fresh clothes. The whips is fresh. The shoes is fresh.
Mhm.
Moms would got a job. She would see a couch she want, go put $50 on and put the couch on layaway, right?
Mhm.
So now every month, layaway a little different than, I don't know if you know what layaway is, but
Yeah.
it's like a credit card, but you don't get to take the product home until after you finish paying for it. So
Right. Right.
moms
Right.
go put $50 on the couch
Yeah.
every month. Then after a year, go make that last payment. You get to take that couch home.
Yeah.
Now we got the couch. We got this nice couch, but we still broke. We still in somebody's basement.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so she don't know no better. She's doing what she was taught.
Right.
Her mom taught her what she knew. And most of my family, we grew up like this. And so when I was buying stuff when I was younger, I was putting it on layaway.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us in the situations that we in.
Right.
And I don't want my kids to grow up like that.
Right.
So that's why I'm passionate about teaching them how money operates. Because if you don't, you always gonna be in the hole. You're always gonna be that renter that gotta move when somebody say move or pay that rent increase.
Mhm.
I want my kids to be the person that the other people that are not doing what they're supposed to do, that's renting a place, that's paying off their mortgage.
Mm.
Just
Yeah.
a quick example. I took my now 18-year-old son maybe about 5 years ago to one of my fourplexes,
Mhm.
and he was helping, and just to get his mind spinning on passive income. I asked him, how much do you think this building is worth? He just took a wild guess. He was only like 13 at the time. He just took a wild guess. I said, no, it's worth X amount. And when I gave him that price, and I had him pull out his phone, and I want you to subtract this number from what I owe on this place. And he subtracted the number. I think it was at the time it was probably about 700 grand, right? If I was to take the property and sell it, that's what I was pocketing, right?
Yeah.
And the Audi R8, that was my dream car for 10 years.
Yeah,
and that was a car that I could have went and bought cash money when it came out.
right.
But I'm on a mission to build, financial wealth for, by my family. And
Yeah.
so there's sacrifices that I have to make in order to do that by not going out and buying all the things that I want when I want them.
Absolutely.
Just because the money is there. That's the same thing as the kid that gets the $20 for his birthday and go spend every coin, right?
Right.
So when my son did that math, he was like, "Dang," he was like, "You could buy like 2 or 3 R8s with that." Because I didn't bring up the car. He brought it up because he knew that that's a car I always talk about it.
Yeah.
I always talk about it. So then I took it a step farther with him. I said, "Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to calculate." At the time, I was renting those units out for like $14.50 a month. My mortgage over there with insurance and taxes, utilities, all that stuff was like $1,800 a month. So I made him do the math on that. It was like $3,000 something dollars. I said, "That's passive income, son.
Yep.
That's money I don't have to get up and go to work for. If I sell this place, we won't have that."
Absolutely.
And so then I took him a step farther. I said, "I could go buy an R8 right now, not even put no money down. Payment would be about $2,200 a month. This one building right here will pay for that car that I want to drive."
Yeah.
And so these are the lessons that I'm trying to teach them to keep their mind spinning. So hopefully when they're of age, they get out there. Maybe they might want to do what I do, maybe they don't. But
Right.
I just want them to understand how money operates,
Mm-hmm.
so that way they don't have to go out here and work hard for money. They can start building their passive income to get out that rat race, right?
Yep.
And then once they're out of that rat race, they could be working in McDonald's, managers at McDonald's. And once they're out of the rat race, let's just say they love photography, but maybe they're not that good at it. They don't make that much money doing photography.
Mm-hmm.
And now they out of the rat race. Their investments are paying for their rent or their mortgage, their car payment, insurance, food, the travel that they want to go do.
Yeah.
But now they can go and do photography because the money's not important, because they're doing what they're passionate about.
Absolutely.
And what they enjoy, and their passive income is taking care of all their expenses. If they in the church, you can go volunteer at the church 7 days a week if you want. And so that's what's important to me. And that's what I've been dedicating my life to, is breaking this cycle that my family and so many other families have lived for so many years. And so I can leave something behind. But they have to learn this while I'm here. My job is to teach them this while I'm here, so they can build their own little empires and surpass my empire.
Yeah.
And so when I'm gone, leave this earth, what I leave them is just gonna make them stronger.
Absolutely.
That's the goal. It ain't, people look at my social media, like everything ain't always peaches and cream.
Right.
I struggled the worst with the oldest ones because they already lived a little bit more life before I started teaching them this stuff. And so now I'm trying to break this cycle. The first, probably like our first 6 months, like the oldest one, he would sit at the table and cry because he wanted to take more money out to go buy skateboard wheels and skateboard parts. But I'm like, "Son, you're defeating the purpose of what I'm trying to teach you.
Right.
You see the money you just made? You didn't lift a finger. You didn't lift not one finger.
Right.
To make that money. But whatever you're taking out today, your 50%, you about to go buy that and didn't even work for the money to buy it.
Yeah.
Didn't even work for it. So, that's my passion, man.
Absolutely.
It's my family and these kids. And, like I said, it ain't easy, but, I'm working on them every day. And at the end of the day, I just want them to go out there and just be responsible.
Yeah. So let's talk about, you do have I noticed your passion came out. You say you don't do this and you ain't never done this before, but
Yeah,
hey, you hit something.
Hey, that's what my wife be saying. She be like, honey, get passionate. I'm like, oh yeah, you gotta
Struck
just stop
a nerve there.
cause I get the ramp.
No, but I appreciate that. I mean, people really truly need to hear that. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to teaching our kids young how to take care of themselves when they're out in these streets and on their own. The proper way to live and create. Something that's gonna be long lasting, and not have to have them working 10, 12, 14, 16-hour days all the time to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely, I hear that 100%. So let's talk about. I wanted to talk about something that I learned a little bit about you, and you've been doing this a long time, long time. Just talk about the journey from just starting this to getting to a place where you created your own real estate company, and just the journey and what it took to get to where you're at, and just your plans for this year.
Ooh, man, it's a long journey. I'm almost gonna be 50 soon, so it's a long journey. But uh, like I said earlier, I've been hustling since I've been young,
Yeah.
man, and I just knew that I always wanted to do something great when I was younger, and be something. You know, as much of a clown as everybody see Donald Trump as,
Yeah.
he's from New York. He bought all kind of skyscrapers. He'd be on the news all the
Oh
time,
yeah.
and I used to be like, oh man, I want to be like that. I want to
Hmm.
buy skyscrapers, but where I'm from, that's like, the snotty nosed kid. Like, I want to be I'm gonna be the president.
Yeah.
That's kind of what
Yeah.
somebody heard me say that I'm gonna be successful and I'm gonna be buying apartment buildings and houses and stuff like that. And like, yeah, we know, kid, we know,
Yeah.
we know. But it just started from back then, man. Just wanting to do something great, and you know, even just through high school, even though I was out in the streets hustling, I was still working. I still went to school.
Hmm.
Um, I graduated from Boss, and I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do as far as school, because I wanted to do a couple of things. I wanted to be an attorney.
Yeah.
I wanted to open businesses.
Right.
I like working with my hands, so I like building custom cars. So I had them three choices: go to school to learn how to build custom cars, go to law school, or business.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, okay, law school, that's gonna be like 7 years.
Yeah.
I need to get this money right now. What can I do? So I ended up going to DeVry in Georgia.
Okay.
I went
Yeah.
there for probably about a year and a half, and I came back, and I had my son in high school, my senior
Okay.
year of high school. So, I ended up coming back here. I didn't finish at DeVry, but I got a lot of good basics on business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I ended up opening up a little record store out in Tillicum. Some of the
Oh, okay.
some of the old school heads will probably remember that.
Yeah.
It was one of those places in Tacoma that a lot of people know of, that was around my age and even the older crowd. Because
Hmm.
I used to bring records in from New York. This is where they didn't have like
What was it called?
radio underground records.
Underground Records.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've probably been
Yeah,
there, bro.
man. Hey, some people watching this probably gonna be like, "Oh, this gonna
Yeah.
bring back memories." I used to get the Mike Tyson fights
Yeah.
there. I was bringing in clothes and stuff from New York
Yeah.
that nobody had out here. I was making gold fronts and all
Yeah.
that stuff back then.
Hustling.
Back when DJs was spinning with vinyl, like I
Yeah.
used to get all the vinyl for all the local DJs out here with all the
Yeah.
records they couldn't get. All the new
Wow.
stuff. So it was a cool little spot.
Yeah.
They had the little cruising on the strip down there. So after the
Mhm.
NCO club was over,
Right.
all the military, because I had the biggest parking lot
Yeah.
on Tillicum Strip, so all of them would come, rally and
Yeah.
park in my
Hmm.
parking spaces, and just from that, and then I did that for a couple years, and then I ended up closing that down. That was my first. I did it for about 2 years,
Yeah.
and then I was like, man, you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do this law school thing. So
Hmm.
I ended up going to Pierce for for my AA in paralegal studies, and then transferred over from there to Evergreen on the Hilltop.
Yeah.
And mind you, while I'm doing all this, I'm still trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still trying to figure out business. I'm still trying to figure out life. I'm still hustling hard.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm out hustling and I'm going paying for my money. My college classes, cash money.
Wow.
Because
hustle.
And I'm not like, I've never been a good kid in school as far as like grades. Like I got dyslexia.
Mm-hmm.
I read slow.
Yeah.
All the challenges you could think of
Mm-hmm.
was me when it comes to school. But I knew that once I left high school, I had to get the knowledge and the training from somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't have, you know, parents that own businesses. I didn't have parents that or family members or was surrounded by people that own businesses or invested in real estate. You know, I was a product of my surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
All my people was out hustling.
Right.
So that's what I was doing. But history repeats itself, and I've learned from other people's mistakes. I know that road was, there was only going to be two options: you're going to be dead or you're going to be in jail.
Yeah.
So my goal was always to, okay, I'm hustling, but I'm going to still keep me a job, and I'm going to still keep trying to educate myself and learn every day so I could get myself out of this situation and into a situation that I want to be in.
Right.
And so I'm going to college paying cash money, paying book time, paying cash money. No student loans, no none of that. But I'm learning, I'm working, I'm taking my paychecks from work, helping pay for school. Once I get through that, it's like, okay, law school, 3 more years, or and then I moved out to Parkland, and then I was out there for another 3 years. And then, you know, because I enjoy working with my hands, I enjoy built custom cars, bikes,
Yeah.
car audio, video, pretty good business, successful. Everybody in Tacoma pretty much knows about it.
Yeah.
And then after a while, like just working that business turned into, it wasn't a hobby anymore. It wasn't fun. You know, like I'm trying to build a business that I could scale so I could start doing other things. But it was a hard business to scale because anytime I leave and shake out of town, come back, things all out of whack. I'm like, man, you guys, my sales guys have more experience than me in the business. All my techs and installers have more experience than me, but every time I come back, things out of whack. So I'm like, I'm done with this. I need to figure something else out. Like I don't want to do this, and I've been wanting to dive a little bit deeper into my real estate because I had already been buying like rentals a little bit here, a little bit there, and I'm like, man, I really want to dive head first into real estate and just only focus on that. And so I ended up selling the business, took the money from that, and bought a couple flips. And I was down at the county courthouse every Friday. Sometimes I buy 2 or 3 houses on a Friday. You know, and I was flipping pretty heavy for probably about a good maybe 5-6 years. I was flipping super heavy. Like I was probably doing anywhere from 3 to 5 houses a month.
Were you going in and doing your own like work and everything as well?
So at first, yeah, my first 2 years, I was on the job site learning because, you know, but I hired, you know, experienced guys. So I was basically their side guy that just did whatever they said do, and I just learned kind of on the job. And I pretty much learned how to do everything because I enjoy working with my hands.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was flipping so many houses, and I'm still on the sites working with my guys. It got to a point where like, okay, how can I need to be able to scale this. I need to get off the job site. Even though I enjoy working with my hands, I like it. That's my passion, building stuff.
Right.
And so it's hard for me to take myself by the collar and say, okay, well, because I'm, you know, my hourly rate as an investor is worth a lot of money, but I'm on the job site doing $20 an hour work because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I got places I'm trying to get to success wise. Me being here swinging the hammer is not going to get me there.
Gotcha.
And so I had to remove myself from the job site. And so now I'm just focusing on finding the deals, coordinating all my workers and all that stuff. And at some point during that time, um, I said, man, I need to get my real estate license because I used to call my agent on a regular basis, a few times a day sometimes to go look at houses. She would always come with no problem, never complain. I just felt like I was bothering her.
Yeah.
But so I went and got my real estate license for that purpose, for the convenience of me just being able to go in and out of the houses without, bugging my real estate agent.
Yeah.
And so when I got the license, a lot of my peers, they thought I was a real estate agent because I own rental property. So I would have people call me all the time, hey, such and such want to buy a house, or I want to sell my house. Can you help me sell it? And I just pass them down, to my agent.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got my license, and then I listed one of my flips, and now I'm looking at my closing statement, and I'm looking at, okay, so when you are an investor, that's just an expense that you pay, is when you're paying your agent fees.
Mm.
But now I'm the agent and I'm the investor, and I'm looking at this breakdown. I'm like, dang, that's like 13,000 that I'm keeping because I'm a real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
And I start thinking about how many houses I done sold.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, I've been throwing away all that money all these years.
Yeah.
And so, like now I'm doing my open houses at some of my flips, and now I'm starting to get curious about real estate as a real estate agent, broker.
Mm.
Just because I just saw the checks. I'm like, dang, that's easy. That's easy money because I'm selling my own houses. And so I asked my managing broker, how do you do this? Like, how do you make? Because I'm crushing everybody in my office.
Yeah. Yeah.
My first year selling real estate, I sold almost 80 homes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. But I asked my managing broker, like, hey, like, so I'm making all these sales. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, like, do you have any, like, so what's the best way to get customers? So she's like, oh, you got to do open houses, honey. So I'm going to do these open houses at my flips. Mind you, I'm one of the first people out here flipping, like doing flips where the house is super dope with the custom tile backsplashes,
Yeah.
and LED backlit mirrors. Wow. And if there's any investor watching this that say I'm lying, you know the truth that everybody started biting around here when it comes to flipping. So I'm doing these flips, and so I'm doing my open houses like she suggested.
Yeah.
I'm getting these people coming in, and I'm like, okay, hi, I'm introducing myself. I'm like, yeah, and I still have braids when I just cut my braids off. Y'all see only old school people know who I am.
Yeah.
Most people that met me like clean, and they like, oh, and then when they see, like, if I show them like an old picture, that's you. Like, yeah, that was me. But so I'm doing these open houses, so now, but I'm not getting no customers.
Right.
So the people come in, I'm like, hi, I'm Terrence. The house is this much and this big, and like, okay. And they walk, and so I did a couple. Go back to my manager broker. Hey, what am can you throw a class? Because I'm getting all these people coming in.
What am I missing here?
But now I'm learning that it's what you say, the right questions that you're supposed to ask. Building a connection with the people, report on when to ask when to ask certain questions and when not to ask certain questions. Know how to ask a question where you could get like 3 answers to the next few questions coming up.
Yeah.
And so now I'm interested. Ended up taking a couple of classes at another firm, I think at Keller Williams, and I ended up moving over to that company, and they had a lot of training there. So
that's cool.
That's what fired me up, like, because I'm learning this stuff, and then I start finding classes and seminars in different cities and different states from different people that are in the real estate industry that do coaching and stuff like that. And so I'm educating myself everywhere, feed my brain with stuff that I need to be a successful real estate agent, and I'm coming back implementing that stuff.
Yeah.
Implementing what I learned right away, and I'm seeing results right away.
Absolutely.
And so that's what fired me up my first year. Like, I was taking beginner classes that most people take one time. I'm taking them 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Right.
Even years later, still taking those beginner classes, getting nugget that I didn't get last time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I owe that to my real estate successes. So that's how I got pretty much where I am. And I still do it today. I got an event coming up I'm going to Florida to. Like,
Nice.
I grew up investing in myself,
Mm.
paying for classes. Remember the Carlton shows? Like, they didn't have YouTube back then. All them infomercials that used to come on TV. I was hungry for success so bad at a young age. I'm buying the tapes off TV.
Yeah.
Most people will buy that stuff and be like, "Oh, that don't work." It do work. They're giving you the roadmap. You just have to actually put the boots on and go out there and do the work. And so, educating the biggest advice I could give to anybody that want to be successful at anything, you got to learn it from somewhere, and you're gonna pay for it unless you find a mentor that's already doing it. If I knew somebody that knows what I know right now that was in my life at 13 years old, 10 years old, 16, 18, my life would be completely different right now. But I had to figure this all out over the last 30 years. And I'm still learning every day. I don't got it all figured out. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to grow. When I hit a ceiling, I set a goal, hit a ceiling. Now it's like, boom, okay, damn, how can I break this? I feel like I keep doing this. But that was going to require me to do something different.
Yes.
And so doing something different means getting uncomfortable, learning something different. So I'm paying for seminars. I'm hopping on the computer, learning whatever I could learn to get myself to the next level, surrounding myself with other people that's already doing it.
Yeah.
You know, you're a product of the 5 people you spend the most time around. That's gonna be who you're gonna be like.
Absolutely. That's facts. That's facts. Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's get into some personal stuff. We've invested 51 minutes into your
y'all
life.
sleep.
Y'all still out there, right?
They probably sleep.
We still out there. They still out there. So let's talk about just a few important people in your life, and just kind of tell me the first thing that comes to your mind um, when you speak about this particular person. Um, I'll start off with um, your father. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you talk about your dad?
Ooh, tough. He was tough. Had high expectations. He had very high expectations of me, and you know, he made sure that I did the right things. You know what I mean? He did his best to lead by example.
Yeah.
And like I said, I owe a lot of my successes to the things that he's taught me. He didn't play no games. You know, I grew up fearing my parents.
Yeah.
And I believe that every kid should have a little bit of fear in their parent for respect reasons. And that's why we see kids out here doing all this dumb, crazy stuff today because they don't respect their parents. So I used to get my ass toe up.
No, you're good, bro. You're good.
So I used to get toe up.
Me too.
But when I got toe up, I'm older now. So when I got toe up, I knew I deserved it.
Right.
Even back then, even when I was younger, when I got my behind whooped because I got caught doing some dumb stuff, I knew I was getting a whooping.
Yeah.
You know, back then they used to come to the teachers, the principals used to could swat you at school.
Yeah.
It was so bad for me when I was they called me T the Terror when I first moved out here. I was bad when I first moved out here, bro. Yeah. I used to it was so bad, my pops told them don't call because they used to have to call your parents first before they could do the swats.
Yeah, don't call.
And he was like, don't even call me no more.
Right.
Go on, do what you gotta do, and I'll get my butt toe up there.
And then you go home and you get another one.
But you know what? That made me think twice before I did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. Because don't get me wrong, like I had my share. Like, the Crips was my homies, the Bloods was my homies. I was getting money from all of them.
Yeah.
So I was right there in the middle with them, but I knew when it was time for me to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
when some funk was hitting the fan, I knew when it was time for me to go the other way.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if I didn't, I was smart enough not to get caught.
Yeah.
But I would always hear, man, you gonna jack me up.
Absolutely.
But it made me think twice about doing, just dumb stuff sometimes. I still did dumb stuff, but I did think twice.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And so, when I think about my pops, I just, I am thankful for just the foundation that he laid for me. He was always out working and stuff like that. And I pretty much was fending for myself, but he set an expectation for me.
Yeah.
And I just had to fulfill that expectation. Like he'd go out and be at work if I'm supposed to have the dishes done, and when he get home at 11 o'clock at night, the dishes ain't done. Boom, boom, boom. Terrence, didn't I tell you to do them goddamn dishes?
Yeah.
Get your ass up and go in there and get them dishes done.
Yeah.
So, go in there and get the dishes done. Because he had expectations.
And he was at least nice to you, though. He at least knocked on the door.
Hey, he had
my
expectations.
dad would whoop us in bed, wake us up with a whooping.
For real. My boss ain't play. I'll never forget. He would tell me to clean my room.
Yeah.
You know how us kids clean our room.
Yep. Slide everything under the bed.
It's done in 5 minutes flat.
Yep.
I'll come out. He'd be like, didn't I tell you to clean that room? I'd be like, I did. He'd be like, that room clean. Yeah. Oh, so if I go in that room better be clean. He'd go in there, start pulling everything out from underneath my bed, take all my sheets, come off the bed, take everything out my dresser, all my clothes out my closet, throw it in the middle of the floor, and say, now clean that room up the right way. And you ain't got no choice.
Don't come out until it's clean.
You don't got no choice because it's all right there on the floor.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So our relationship was decent. It could have, me and his relationship could have been better. We had a lot of challenges. He was into a bunch of wild stuff, and I was into some wild stuff. But overall, like I believe that he did give me the right lessons to raise me into a man that can provide and take care of himself.
Absolutely.
He's super proud of me. I got my first real job when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
At KFC right here on 84.
Yeah, right
Pacific.
down the street.
It's funny because I remember I used to come home on payday, and he would always have friends at the house. He'd be like, how much money you made? And I had to tell him how much money I made. And he just trying to brag to his friends, like, he come on, watch this. He working, he driving, look at it.
He finally figured it out.
So one day I came, I was tired of answering that question. I started smelling myself, I had a little hair on my balls. So I was grown. So I'm like, man, if he asked me how much he got, I pulled up, he had a couple cars at the house. So
you knew it was coming.
I knew he was gonna ask me because his pay, he proud. But I know now that he was proud.
He was proud.
That's why he would always ask me that, especially in front of his
Absolutely.
friend. So I walked in the house. I already had my chest out. Like, if he asked me how much I made, I'm gonna tell him none of his business. So I walked in the house, and he's like, "Hey," and his friends and they like, "What's up, nephew?" And he's like, "Yeah, you get paid today?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "How much money you made?" I was like, "Don't worry about it, bro." What? And that's exactly how
I believe it too.
But I think every teenage boy smell himself at least one time.
Yeah.
And if you got a pop that don't play that mess, that's all it takes is one time for it to be like, man, don't play with me.
Yeah.
Don't play with me. But
absolutely.
I'm older now, so I realize, why he would ask me that question and stuff like that. Because he was super proud of me. And that's one thing I can say is he always talked good about me to, friends and family, and he was proud.
That's awesome.
I enjoyed making him, and not just him, but my whole family proud of me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. All right, so I'm gonna talk about person that we both know very, very well. But when you think about Shireen, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Oh man, gentle giant.
The gentle giant.
Yeah. Shireen was the gentle giant. So Shireen's my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
Me and him grew up together, and his mom took me in. You know, when I was acting up, stuff like that, she gave me a place to live and prayed for me, and helped me. I was young when I had my first son, so
Yeah.
I was still out here running around in the streets, and she's just kind of trying to help keep me on the straight and narrow and guide me, and
Yeah.
and Shereen's mannerisms, definitely come from mom's. His heart, the way he, just loved on his friends and was just there. If I needed anything, he was there for me. Just good advice. Um, man, just the biggest heart. And I
Yeah.
don't think there's anybody that has ever met him that would say anything different. Like just all around, just good person.
Amazing.
And I'm proud to call him my brother. I got three people out here that I call my brothers, and just because we ain't blood, don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
When I say them as my brothers, and they all three of their moms took me in.
Yeah.
They all took me in, and I call them mom till this day. I treat them just like they birthed me, because it really took a village to raise me, bro.
Yeah.
Coming from New York, I was terrible when I first got out here. It took a lot to break. I guess what they call it, breaking a horse when they bad or something like that. Like when you're trying to train a horse, I think they call it like breaking a horse or something like that.
I'm not sure.
So it was tough, bro, when I first got out here, and it really took a village to make me the person that I am today. And Shireen was one of those people that helped form me to the person I am. He believed in me, um, supported every venture that I ever wanted to do. Because he saw the hustle in me. He saw that anything that I set my mind to, that I was going to do it, and I was going to give it 110%. And that's one thing that I always loved about him. That he always supported me 110% with no question.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If I went to him, if he had $100,000 and I had five in my pocket, and I was like, bro, this is what I want to do. I need $100,000. I want to do this. Like, I got you, because that's how much faith he had in me.
Yeah.
As his brother.
And
I just, man, I wish he was still here.
Yeah.
To support me, but hopefully he's looking down and just still proud of the things that I'm doing. And,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Shireen. I'm sure he's watching us right now. So last person that we're gonna pick, and then after this we'll talk about 2024, and then we'll conclude for today. Thank you guys so much for continuing to watch. Cheese Wheels in the building, and we just talking about life. But this person obviously is a special person in your life. Let's talk a little bit about your wife. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about wifey?
My wife, first thing that comes to mind is Mama Bear.
Mhm.
She's Mama Bear, to the kids. She's Mama Bear to me, and that's why I love her so much, because she just gives me that feeling that she grounds me.
Yeah,
If that makes sense, and completes
absolutely.
me. Because before I met my wife, like, marriage was nowhere near on my radar.
Yeah,
I wasn't even thinking about marrying nobody. Like, I never thought that was something I would even ever do. Never even considered it.
right.
And I want to say about maybe 2 years or so prior to meeting her, I was going to church and stuff every Sunday.
Mhm.
And after a while, I'm like, man, I started asking the Lord to bless me with somebody,
Yeah,
and I wasn't out looking. I was out hustling hard. I was grinding, flipping houses,
yeah,
a lot. So I was busy. I really wasn't thinking about like women or nothing like that. If one came my way, when I
yeah,
happened to be in the same vicinity, that was something else. But I wasn't looking for like a
yes,
relationship or nothing like that.
absolutely.
And just when she just crossed my path, we had actually already knew each other just through mutual friends. Just, we both just had our own situations at the time. And when we went out, kind of on an unofficial date
Mm-hmm.
with my brother Dennis and Mia, my sister Mia. We went to a comedy show, and that's kind of how it all started. But then I was like, yeah, she cool, and still not really thinking about, we were just supposed to be going out hanging out. It wasn't like a date or nothing like that.
Right.
And after the comedy show, we went out to dinner a couple of times, and we just kept talking. And then I was like, man, this seemed like it's turning into something. But then I still kept kind of pushing, pushing back a little bit. Like, I'm looking for like dirt, like, she in Tacoma. Oh man, she probably been everybody, girl. I'm thinking all, I'm trying to think of all the negative
all the ways
stuff. I'm doing my research, what you know about her? And everywhere I turn, oh man, Crystal, she's a good girl, man. She's super sweet, man. We love Crystal. And I just couldn't find nothing, man. Like, and I was looking because I was feeling like stuff that I've been through just with women over the last probably like 20-something years, like I wasn't deserving of somebody like her.
Wow.
And so I just kept trying to push and push. And finally I just was like, I did pray for this. I did pray for this.
Yeah.
And, and when like no woman has ever made me feel that way, ever, where I felt like I want to marry her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And asked her, and she said yeah, and that was all she wrote. And she completes me. I think she makes me complete. I feel like I work harder because I want to help. I want to provide. I want to do things, and we help uplift each other. Like I push her and motivate her, and vice versa. She got a successful loan business. She does home loans for clients, and we work together on a lot of our files and stuff like that. And everything works. We got a blended family. The kids, man, I'm there for them, just like my blood-born kids.
Yeah,
I raise them the same way, and life is beautiful.
That's awesome.
Of course, it's like every marriage ain't perfect,
glittering
but
gold.
yeah, we post all the good stuff on social media, but I'm not that type of person that go on there going, oh yeah, we did that, oh she did that, or I did this, and you know what I'm saying? Like who cares? Like I'm trying
every relationship has their ups and downs.
Every relationship got their ups and downs. Absolutely. So don't look at the social media and think my whole life is like that every day. I'm sure she hates me a lot of mornings. So
a lot of mornings.
But yeah, so I'm enjoying it.
That's awesome,
I'm enjoying it, and I couldn't imagine doing it with nobody else.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So really quick, guys, I do want to apologize to all you guys that have been watching. Today, I guess McCord Air Force Base is busy. That's why you're hearing the airplanes fly over the house. I live right in the vicinity of the airplane, so it is what it is. But we are going to get, we are about 8 minutes over time, but that's fine. We're just going to do a couple more questions, and then we're going to call this an interview. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's been great. I mean, I didn't even have to ask you much.
I know, man. My wife said I get passionate. When I get passionate, I get to talking. So.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So what's your goals for 2024? You got any big goals that you are looking at?
So 2024, I'm just focusing on my real estate business, helping make my agents successful, teaching them how to invest in real estate to start creating, more passive income for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been asked for so many years to teach classes on investing.
Absolutely.
And so I'm working on that now too. So hopefully within this next couple of months, I'll have that all dialed in.
Yeah.
And just start doing some classes. What I really want to do is I want to put together a curriculum for kids.
That'd be awesome.
But, I'm not a writer. I'm not a book writer. I got everything up here, but I need help with stuff. Like I'm so big. I got my hands in so many different things, and there's only so many hours in a day. Like I need help with that stuff. Like, that's something.
Do you know Diago?
Diago Hunter?
Yeah.
That's my dude.
Yeah. He's a writer, man. You might want to connect with him, bro.
Okay.
He's a writer. Shout out to Diago.
Yeah,
that's
D
the
Hunter.
homie.
Yes, sir. That's big bro right there.
Yeah, for sure, man. But actually, bro, you got it.
Yeah.
And just sitting here having a conversation with you, I could totally see you in that realm of things, teaching people, because you taught me so much just by sitting here explaining your story and the things that you have done, not just for yourself and your wife, but for your kids as well. Like you brought it down to different levels of teaching. And so, I mean, you're almost there. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for you to get into that because I think you'll be great.
I need help. So if you're listening and you know how to write books and like curriculums and stuff like that, I'll be open to a conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah, so there's that. Growing my office. I also want to start focusing because over this last couple of years, I've been not really super focused on investing as far as buying more properties. So I'm going to put a little bit more focus towards that this year. And then working hard to serve my clients. You know, my buyers and sellers and my investors. Just get dialing in my systems to give them an even better experience than it was last year. And yeah, I'm gonna give this business a good 4 more years. That's how much time I got to the last kid graduates and he's out the house. And after he's out, it's one-way tickets for me and my wife wherever we want to go. I can work from any beach on a telephone or a computer. So,
yeah, for sure.
That's the ultimate goal right there.
Absolutely.
Be free, baby.
Absolutely. So I got 2 more questions. 2 more. And then I'm done.
Okay.
Promise. This is it, guys. I do a promise. I promise this is it. First one. So now I got all boggled up. So what is it that you want people to remember about you when you leave this earth?
I want people just to remember me for being a person that shared the knowledge and to try to help his people and his surroundings get uplifted and teach them the stuff that I know. Because like I said earlier, I wish I knew somebody that knew what I know right now in my life.
Yeah.
Like I explain to my kids all the time, even some of my own closest homies who still they see
in
me
those
out,
streets.
They see me out here doing this.
Mm-hmm.
They see me crushing it. They see me investing in real estate for all these years. They know I got the recipe for them.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, after I get my tax, I'm gonna come mess with you. I'm gonna come mess with you. I'm gonna come meet with you and talk. Yeah, you said that last year.
Yeah.
You said that. Been saying that for the last 15 years, 20 years. You know, so I want to be known and leave that legacy behind, and just that T taught what he knew to his people and uplifted his surroundings. Because even when you get rich, being rich by yourself ain't no fun.
Right.
Paying for all your friends to come with you every time you go somewhere ain't no fun either.
Right.
So I want my circle to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And there ain't nobody that's surrounded by me that's whether they're in my office or they're not even in my office or just a close friend. I'm an open book. I'm gonna give you everything I got up here. I don't spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands on the education that I got right now, educating myself to learn the things that I know right now.
Yeah.
And you get it for free. Right. You get it for free. All you gotta do is show up and hop in the passenger seat.
Absolutely.
Not too many people take me up on that.
Yeah.
They don't want to make the sacrifices.
Y'all listening?
Where I'm at today, right now, took a lot of sacrifices from me. A lot of sacrifices, like buying a lot of the stuff that I wanted that I could have bought, but I didn't buy it because I'm trying to build something. Like the example I gave you earlier about the apartment building. Yeah. I could have bought the R8 cash money. Right. I ended up buying the R8 probably about a year after that. Yeah. But I had that. My wife had to reel me back and say, "Babe, just go buy the car. You teaching everybody how to invest and to have their passive income pay for stuff like that. I got a one single family house that my cash flow paid for that car. Just one house. Yeah. Go buy a fucking car." I'm like, God You know, I just because I don't, I just spending that kind of money.
Right.
I'm still building. I'm still building, but
Right.
I gotta have fun too.
Yeah.
I gotta have fun too. And she made a point. I don't have to sell another house to pay for it. Guess who's paying for it? My tenant.
Mm-hmm.
My tenant was paying for that car.
Absolutely.
My tenant's paying for every vacation you see them photos and videos of me on. They pay for all the cars you see me driving, all them Wagyu steaks you guys see me eating.
Yeah.
My tenants is paying for that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I leave y'all with anything, you have to build your life by design and not by default.
Mm.
If you want to get somewhere,
That's good.
make the sacrifices to get there, because ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Like you gotta do something different. If you want your life to be different, you have to do something different.
Yeah.
You want to make more money next year? Okay, that sounds good, but what are you gonna do different to make more money next year?
Right.
If you're doing the same thing you was doing this year,
you're gonna get the same money you got last year.
The same money you did last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can tell you
Man.
anything. Sacrifice, baby. Sacrifice.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that. And you know what? The last one, I was gonna ask you because you had mentioned going to church. How important is your faith to you?
My faith is very important to me. It's funny because I grew up, so my mom's side is Christian, my dad's side Jehovah's Witnesses. So imagine that growing up, having to go to both places, just kind of being confused. But, I actually was going to church every Sunday up until COVID hit.
Yeah.
And, so I haven't been back, unfortunately, but, I'm praying every day.
Yeah.
And asking God to look over me, and watch over my family and my friends. I got my prayer warriors out there.
Yeah.
Mom's praying for me every day. But that is my mission, though, to get back in church, because I feel like I felt better every day,
Mm-hmm.
and just to even just let stuff out. I'm not one of the talkative type people, so I keep a lot of stuff just kind of bottled up, and I noticed that when I do go to church, just all that, just whatever I have inside me, just kind of gets released. So
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Well, you know what? This has been an amazing interview. I appreciate you so much for coming over and hanging out with me today. Thank you guys so much for viewing. For real, if you guys have not listened to the whole thing, go back and rewind and listen. He throws all kinds of tips at you guys, all kinds of information that's beneficial and going to be helpful in your journeys as you continue to grow and move forward in this thing called life. If you want to build credit, if you want to build, a better financial wealth, the whole nine. This man right here is the one you want to talk to about it. How can they get in contact with you if they want to talk to you a little bit more on it?
Man, I ain't hard to find. Just go on Google, type in Terrence Williams Tacoma. You'll find all the platforms, the YouTube channels, the Instagram, Facebook. What's my Instagram? I think it's Terrence Williams Realtor.
Yep.
And then I think it's for both. So, but if I'm wrong, just put in Google Terrence Williams Tacoma. It'll bring up all my different platforms.
Absolutely.
And I'm your guy in Tacoma. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, or even if you just want to chop it up about real estate, you want to chop it up about just wealth and where to start.
Yeah.
A lot of us think it's like something far fetched, and it's really not. It just take a couple small changes in your life and making a few sacrifices, and the small steps create something big for you in the near future.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. All right, man. Well, thank you so much again,
man.
bro.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, my first podcast interview. I hope I did all right. You didn't seem too nervous.
No, you did your thing,
wet
man.
over here, but
Hey, it was a great interview, bro. You did amazing. I thank you so much. Thank all you guys so much for viewing today. We will be back this weekend with Maisha Mosley for her birthday. It's going to be a movie, so make sure you guys tune in, tap in. We going to Bremerton. Yeah, we heading out there. So we will see you guys this weekend. Y'all take care. One love. Peace out.